So we're standing here on top of SheiKra, 200 feet above Busch Gardens, Tampa.
Looks like we are going to be greeted by Wilma.
The experiences that Busch Gardens has that no one else can really replicate. It's that perfect day for the entire family. Our park teams are always looking for new immersive experiences for our guests.
One of our main attractions here at the park are our roller coasters. They really kind of cater to anybody that's a thrill seeker. You come to the park and you get to ride the rides and you have a lot of fun, but you don't really get to see how they work. So we offer the roller coaster insider tour, which takes you behind the scenes of SheiKra, Cheetah Hunt, and Cobra's Curse, so you can see how these rides operate, how we do things from day-to-day basis to make sure you have a fun and safe ride. So we're standing here on top of SheiKra, 200 feet above Busch Gardens, Tampa. Up here you get a great view of the park. You can see Montu, Kumba, Falcon's Fury is behind me. But up here we get a great view at a lot of the components that make SheiKra work. We've got brakes up here that hold the coaster in place and stop the ride. We've got kicker tires that move the coaster along level areas of track. And then we also get a good view of our drop chain up here. The drop chain is really the main event up here. It's what holds the coaster over the edge. So whenever you ride SheiKra, it feels like you stop completely over that edge, kind of building that tension before you drop. But you actually don't stop completely. You actually are lowered very, very slowly over the edge by a thing under the middle of the train called a drop chain dog. And that drop chain dog just engages into the drop chain, slowly lowers you over the edge, and then once you reach a certain point, it kind of kicks you off the edge, and then you start the rest of your ride. The brakes that you see up here, these are friction brakes. They work much like a brake on the car. Now SheiKra also has magnetic brakes. As the coaster passes through those magnets, it creates what's called an eddy current, which is a small electrical charge that just basically resists the forward movement of the coaster. And they work really, really well to slow down something going very fast in a short amount of time. So in this case, a roller coaster. Once you leave the lift and the drop, gravity takes over and you're basically free falling throughout the entire ride. So we're in launch 2 at Cheetah Hunt. Here is the fastest launch on the coaster. It gets you up to 60 miles an hour. And we do that using these stators. These are the white panels on the track that you see down here. Inside of them, there's coils of copper wire, and we pump a current through them that reacts with the magnets that are under the trains to launch the coasters up to speed. In front of the stators here, we have an example of the brakes on this ride. Cheetah Hunt uses all magnetic brakes. There's no friction brakes like SheiKra. So this non-ferrous metal reacts with the magnets under the coaster to create that eddy current to slow the coaster down, and then the kicker tires behind it bring it to a stop.
We've always been committed to preserving the natural world, and so as part of that, we want to make sure we carry a message. We're always trying to do is find a better way so that every customer, every past member, every person that visits Busch Gardens can actually learn more and more about the park and get out to see the amazing experiences.
Busch Gardens is incredibly unique. There's really nowhere else on earth like this place. Not only are we a zoo where people can learn about these animals, but they can also learn about conservation efforts happening and see them firsthand. So we have some amazing behind-the-scenes tours like our Serengeti Safari, where guests can go out and interact with our giraffes. We have tours where people can see our tigers up close and in person, our lions, our cheetahs, and all the other animals that call Busch Gardens home. So it's breakfast time out here at the Serengeti Plains, and our keepers behind us are actually getting ready to put out a whole bunch of different types of browse and other plant materials for our giraffes. But you can see slowly making their way across the belt towards us. Right now we have our group of giraffes that see all of those beautiful browse plants. These are some of their favorite snacks in the whole wide world. They have plenty of various different types of foods out here. Everything from different types of hay to different pelleted feeds to the different browse plants, many of which we actually grow right here on property. And it looks like we also might be getting joined by some of our eland. So the eland are the largest species of antelope on the planet. They're those very, very large tan ones with the very long, kind of curved and pointed horns. And these animals are incredible because they're an antelope species. But not only are they very, very large and very powerful, but they're also very agile. In fact, an eland can jump about 6 to 8 feet straight up into the air. Where my personal team works currently is the Animal Care Center. So that is our zoo hospital that's entirely open to guests, where guests visiting Busch Gardens can, in the first room, see us making food in our education kitchen for animals, meet some of our education animals up close and in person, and just around the corner from there they'll find the zoo hospital. And that's where first thing in the morning a guest can view a checkup, a surgery, not only on our own animals, but on a lot of rescued local wildlife as well. One of my favorite parts of my day is letting people meet an animal that maybe they've never even seen before. So Darwin's one of our animal ambassadors here at Busch Gardens. So he goes out around the park, he goes to local schools, he goes on TV. He helps us to talk a little bit more about how we take care of all the animals that call Busch Gardens home. And there's also other ways that they can meet our animals too, like at the Animal Care Center, where my team will actually bring a lot of those education animals out and facilitate those one-on-one interactions. So this is Burko, and Burko here is one of the animal ambassadors that calls Busch Gardens home. He's called a ground cuscus. So these animals are amazing animals that are found living throughout the rainforest just north of Australia. And they play a very important role throughout the forest as a seed disperser. We're home to well over 12,000 animals. There's a huge amount of animals that we care for, and guests visiting Busch Gardens can meet those animals up close and in person. So the same things that inspired me as a kid, those are all opportunities that guests can have as well. Really meeting an animal and connecting with it in a way that they're just not going to be able to find anywhere else.
If you're a coaster enthusiast, Busch Gardens is the place to be. We've got something for you. You're going to love rides like Cheetah Hunt, Shikra, Kumba, Montu. They're going to be great, and you're going to really enjoy them.
So if you're watching this today, the biggest key message that we'd love to give to you is come out to Busch Gardens. Come be a past member and experience the park the entire year. We've got something for you and your entire family.